Tonight, I'm here to celebrate you winning the World Heavyweight Championship because I've been there before. I understand how proud you must feel. So, congratulations. Just wanted to put a little note on tonight and tell you how proud I was of you. You know what, though? One thing, before I go, a few months ago, you started something with me and my family in Atlanta, Georgia. And I am gonna make sure that I end it in Atlanta, Georgia. July the 12th, Saturday night, main event. You're mine. Because you're next.
Get ready. Get ready for the worst raw review on the internet. The worst raw review on the internet. STRAWS Raw with Eric B and Randy C. Chickens or bananas and fresh roast beef. This is STRAWS Raw.
Hello friends, listeners, and newcomers. It's me, Eric B. They call me the Raw Dog. And you're here on the Hub Sports Entertainment Network listening to the STRAWS Raw review, the absolute worst or best, depending on where you search, Raw review on the internet. Folks, thank you so much for joining us and taking the time out of your day to do so. And I do mean us, because I am joined by my one and only PIC, my puppy in crime, my schnauzer from another Mauja. His name is Randy C. Randy, bark at the fine folks.
I'm barking at the fine folks. Hey, Eric B. Hey, everybody. Hey, I went to a casino type event. And there was a Spanish magician there, and he said he would disappear on the count of 3. He said, unos, dos, and then just disappeared without a trace. Hey, everybody. Hey, Eric B. Sorry I screwed that one up. It's me, Randy C. And as usual, we're powered by something. Play sponsor, Dad. Here.
The Canadian Brewhouse All-Stars have come to play. Here's a food and drink lineup so full of excitement, it's terrifically tantalizing. Wings on the left side, pizza on the right, burgers and fries fighting hard in the corners for scrumptious supremacy. Oh, looks like we have a penalty upcoming for double dipping. Wait, no, he fakes. Oh, what a move. Sensational from start to finish. So buckle in and belly up, because we got one heck of an all-star experience at the Canadian Brewhouse.
This is Sam from the TDS Wrestling Show. Check us out live on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube every Wednesday and every Sunday. Wednesdays we will be reviewing WWE Monday Night Raw and the previous week in WWE. And on Sundays we will be reviewing current WWE PLEs, as well as going back in time and reviewing classic WWE pay-per-views. Follow, like, subscribe and share the love of the TDS Wrestling Show.
And we're also powered by the SmackDaddies. The SmackDaddies are your East Coast podcasting champions of the world. Sorry, Berkey. And they give you their WWE SmackDown review every Saturday morning here on the Hub Sports Entertainment. Join Brad the Dad and Father Greg He might be angry. Maybe not. No, probably is. And they will run down the SmackDown show, which was a great SmackDown this past Friday, if you were to see me watch it. That's Father Brad, Brad the dad, and Father Greg. Well, it's going to be a week for you folks. And that's the SmackDaddies, only on the Hub Sports Entertainment. Also powered by the Dynamite Drop. Stunning Sean and Ashley give you their AEW review of the week. They watch the show, so you don't have to. No, I shouldn't say that. AEW has been on the up and up as of late. They are the Dynamite Drop. Give you a formative AEW review every Friday morning here on the Hub Sports Entertainment. And last but not least, THD, the handshaking team. Join Eric B each week as he has a whole bunch of draws. This week, in his draw, is it in his GP? It is The Undertaker Series number 1? Is that Series number 1 there, Eric B? Series number 1 from the WWE. Can't read the rest of it because he took it away. But yes, Series number 1, The Undertaker. I'm not really good at this sometimes. But yes, join him on Facebook, facebook.com/The Handshaking Team, where he has plenty of raffles like GP. Or are you going to be the misfortunate one? I know I've been the Wheel of Misfortune every week. That's one of my favorites. That's The Handshaking Team at facebook.com/The Handshaking Team. And last but not least, Chiquita Bananas. Why, Monroe?
Monkeys never cramps.
No, they never cramp. The Jays have been as of late. I think Mr. Roden has a cramp in his face after running into that wall and leaving his black on the wall. If you guys if you've seen it, just definitely look it up over the weekend. Jays versus Phillies, where Mr. Roden runs into the wall and his black gets left on the wall because he ran so hard.
What the hell? His black gets left on the wall. This is the line of the week to start the show this week. Randy, thank you so much for those wonderful introductions. You're the best, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Not always good at this. Always the best at this. Randy, my man, how are you, brother? How was your week?
I was quiet. I haven't been feeling too well. Back still hurts. So just waiting. A couple more weeks there, Eric B. So a couple more weeks. Other than that, it's been pretty good. I've seen you've been busy. You've been rising the charts, not necessarily in audio, but in the video form. I watch Much Music. I was trying to look for you there. I think you're too good for them. But on Vimeo, you can catch it. And the YouTube's Headlights by the Shivvies, where Eric B here is the star cop in a police chase. He runs into a lemonade stand. I'll let Eric B explain a little more.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, me and friend of the network, Bobby B. we went and we were on a music video shoot playing two Super Troopers, may I add. Big shout out to Bobby and his role that he did. If you watch the music video, and by the way, guys, it's New Aged Outlaws Headlights. It's their new band, their new undertaking. Heck of a song. Definitely a banger of a track for sure. And if you slow down the video or you just watch very closely, at one point you can see Bobby B eating a donut off of a fake gun. And I do have to say fake gun because it was fake, folks. But absolutely great day. We filmed for, I think, like 4 hours. I ate at least 16 donuts. And they had more donuts to go. They were like, keep eating donuts. I had so much sugar that day. It was just the best day ever. The best day ever. Also, it was really weird because there was like multiple police officers that came by to see what we were doing at one point. And we're wearing the most ridiculous Super Trooper outfits ever. Check us out on YouTube, folks. My agent just won't stop calling me now. It's insane. It's been on the internet now for less than a week. And I've gotten, Randy, phone won't stop ringing right now. You can hear it vibrating. It just won't stop. It won't stop, man. They want me. It was my first music video since the great Good Charlotte's Little Things. I think you probably remember it as one of the greatest songs of all time, top 20 at least. Right? No? Not
Good
really?
Charlotte? I wasn't a good Charlotte listener.
Neither was I.
Oh,
Neither was I. So
so name the song.
when I had to listen to Little Things, at least 2,000 times in one day during a shooting, including 6 hours of filming a mosh pit scene in my high school my high school gymnasium. Yeah, there's reasons why I don't do these things anymore, folks. I absolutely hate movies, filming, anything like that. I used to do extra work. You can find me actually in the Santa Claus with Tim Allen when I was a kid. You can find me there. I was one of the elves. But man, I'll never do that again. Never do it again, Randy.
Not even for a good friend, Eric Reed, and shout out to the New Age Outlaws. Yes, the New Age Outlaws with
Listen,
our friends Eric Reed.
Yeah. Eric Reed can give me a call any single time he wants me to star in a music video. And I do mean star, folks. I do absolutely mean star. I mean, I know I'm being a little bit modest as I'm saying it, but yeah, the music video is all about me. My name.
In a car
No,
crash too. Did you receive any broken legs, wrists, maybe some dislocated shoulders? Wink, wink.
I gotta
Yeah.
say, man, I always thought that my first on-screen death would have been a little bit more climactic, but I'm fine with an exploding badge and bloody and all that stuff. But no, folks, I made it through. It was 2 years ago, so I survived the explosion, and that lemonade is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good at that stand.
Holy crow, Eric B. People, Eric B doesn't understand a transition. I just said, did you receive any injuries? Wink, wink. And he didn't get it. It's all about Eric B here. But speaking about injuries, let's change the topic a little. I'm playing with you, Eric B. You know I love you. But yeah, he did get it. He's holding his head right now. Injuries. Injuries in wrestling or storylines impacting. Last night, we're going to give you a spoiler alert. There was an injury during Raw last night. And Rob Arbic, all right, settle down here. This is a serious matter. It happened to Miss Liv Morgan. From what we're hearing this morning as of every like media outlet right now, or that is saying it is a dislocated shoulder. And you can definitely see it on the replays of it with her match against Kari Zane last night. But what I want to talk about, not just the Liv Morgan injury, is impacts of storylines on injuries. Like this impacts 3 storylines right now. Eric B, elaborate.
Well, 3 storylines currently impacted that we have. We have Raquel and Liv, who are currently the women's tag team champions. We have Liv going back for her world championship, and we have Liv and Nikki Bella coming up at Evolution. So with Liv Morgan being sidelined up to 16 weeks, being reported as of right now, unconfirmed. They still have to do some tests to see exactly what it is. For her being out for 16 weeks, not only is that a huge impact to storyline, we're talking about huge ratings drop as well too, because Liv Morgan is arguably one of the best female wrestling talents out there. So when you look at losing somebody like that to a shoot injury and being gone for maybe 16 weeks, that leaves us to the tail end of 2025. Let's talk about somebody else who that happened to very recently in WWE. CM Punk last summer. That was supposed to be the proclaimed return of the summer of Punk. And when he went out with his injury, we just had to write it off, and we had to do different things with that title, and we had to do different storylines and kind of just scrap or more or less put things on hold until he could return. With that being said, when that happens, you have a domino effect that happens as well, which may have led us all the way to, say, for example, Jey Uso becoming World Heavyweight Champion. So, Randy, the question I pose to you is, with Liv Morgan being out for maybe up to 16 weeks, who's a name there on the roster who could benefit from this? And I'm not saying that in a way like anybody is benefiting from the loss of Liv Morgan, but now, just like any other sports team, if you lose one of your superstars, there is a hole there that needs to be filled by somebody. Who is somebody on the WWE Raw roster who could potentially try and fill that spot? And I do say try because I don't think anybody can replace her.
I 100% agree with you on that, but there is definitely a try in what could make sense. Now, you would have to alter the storyline just a tad, but the Judgment Day right now is going through some trials and tribulations, you could say. And one of the people involved with it is a Miss Roxanne Perez. Now, how they can fix this, Roxanne and Raquel, Liv gets a replacement, which is Roxanne as a tag team. Roxanne can step up against Nikki Bella. It'd almost be like an AJ Lee versus Nikki Bella situation. It's similar in looking and similar in storyline. But Roxanne Perez, if you want to elevate somebody from the NXT roster coming up to the main card that has some momentum, I would definitely put Roxanne in place of Liv at the time being. And when Liv comes back, maybe have some type of feud with her, or disruption, or approval or non-approval. Maybe a little tie-in with Dom, a little more that was teased before. But that's the only one right now that I can see, unless you can think of something better here for me, Eric B. Like, is there anybody else that you could think that maybe has a chance?
I mean, not really, but by doing that, you're going to sacrifice all of the turmoil that's going on within the Judgment Day, at least for this short period of time until Liv comes back and either is in approval or disapproval, loses her spot to Roxanne more or less during the time that she's gone and comes back. But by the time that she comes back, we're talking about Liv Morgan in the Rumble and stuff like that. So the timing of the injury absolutely sucks. Having an injury at any time sucks for sure, especially when you rewatch it and you look at how basic it is. Randy, I can't tell you how many times I watch professional sports or I watch professional wrestling, and some of the worst injuries are on the most basic things, right? Somebody lands normally on their 2 feet, done for a year. Somebody lands, like Liv braced herself with both arms. She did what she was supposed to do. There was no mistakes here. You can't blame anybody. I see a lot of people on the internet saying, oh, great, another person injured with Kyrie Sane. It has nothing to do with Kyrie being unsafe in the ring here.
The Zoe Stark thing had nothing to do with Kairi Sane. People get it right. That was Zoe Stark doing it herself. But you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But the question is, they're not, like, one, was it a pre-existing injury? Two, was it maybe because they're not wrestling as much or doing stuff as much? Could have been caused by that. Like, but she did do everything right from what it looks like posting. Like,
we see what she puts her body through every single week and what she does to entertain us every single PLE. She's taking the major bumps. She's taking the major hits. She is the JD McDonagh of the female division when it comes to taking those bumps and bruises and keeps on going. So
hair whips.
Yeah, everything. Just think about absolutely everything. And then also she's got stuff going on in her personal life too. I mean, it's not only Roxanne Perez out there that's catching strays on social media and all that type of stuff. I'd imagine at this point Liv Morgan probably doesn't even open her DMs, even if she sees Drake slide in there. So you know what I mean? It's a tough place for us to be as fans as well, because and as we start the show going into Monday Night Raw tonight, we are firmly reminded, as we're looking back in time now, that this is like, it's not Monday Night Mommy anymore. It is Monday Night Morgan. It's been Monday Night Morgan for quite some time here. And to miss out on, one of the best female talents in wrestling for a undefinitive period of time, it sucks, man. This isn't the story. We just got her back. This is absolutely a worst case scenario, and this is a worst nightmare.
100%. Liv Morgan, probably one of the best standouts and the most improved wrestler in the last coming years. Nothing against Rhea Ripley or anything else like that, but I remember watching little Liv Morgan from New Jersey coming out in NXT to where she is right now. She's improves on the mic. Well, we'll get into it in a minute. But she improves in the mic. She improves in the wrestling. Overall, she's just an elite star attraction. She is the draw for Monday night.
Yeah, like you look at like your Rhea Ripleys and your Jade Cargills. These are women that are built like trucks, and Liv isn't built that way, but she is just as over as Rhea was at her heyday, you know, as far as where Liv has been on the roster. And it's funny, man, even as we're looking at the replays from last week and we're looking at the whole exchange with Liv Morgan and Nikki Bella, WWE is piping in booing sounds to when she's beating down Nikki Bella because there wasn't that much booing happening. If anything, people were like cheering when she was like, "You don't belong here and this is my show." Crowd was going crazy for it. There was no boos at all in the building. Anyways, Randy, unfortunate news for our precious little Liv Morgan, and even Rhea Ripley herself has come out and tweeted it's not it's not good to celebrate anybody's injuries. Don't be like that, because she sees a lot of people online saying, yes, Liv is out for quite some time. And that's just not the way that we're supposed to do this. To watch anybody be taken away from the thing that they love to do is really crappy. And to celebrate that is really classless. So let's be better as wrestling fans. And Randy, on that note, should we talk about Monday Night Raw from the Resch Center in Green Bay, Wisconsin?
No.
Okay. Well, folks, thanks for listening.
It's dead.
Thanks for listening, folks. All right, let's get it going. Randy, we are in the winning town of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Randy, were you a Packers guy at any time in your life?
Hell no. No, don't get me wrong. They aren't a Patriots or a Indianapolis team, but I'm a Bills fan. So
Yeah.
no, I was never a Packers fan. I was never a cheesehead. I commemorate their enthusiasm on cheeses and being cold and staying out there. So.
And beer.
And beer. Yeah, beer's good
Yeah,
too.
you know, we're good with all of those things. That's good. But anyways, yeah, no Packers fans here at all either. But anyways, Randy, we're coming up to Night of Champions here, fast and furious, and we are finalizing the semifinals here for the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. Jey Uso is our surprise guest or surprise entry, for the King of the Ring tournament here in that final spot. I think a lot of people wanted it to be somebody different. Randy, throwing Jey Uso right into this tournament right after he loses his title. What are your thoughts on that?
Why not? Yeah, again, he is a crowd favorite. He needs to be somewhere. Obviously, later on tonight, we see probably one of the reasons why of Jey Uso losing the belt. But yeah, it has to be somewhere. And I wouldn't be even surprised if he possibly could win it, but maybe not. Depends where his storyline goes or what his next little adventure may be after Gunther. So, no, I definitely put him in it. Again, the crowd's behind him. Like, you see this tonight, too. Like, he is main event. There's a reason why he's selling merch.
He doesn't need it, but you can argue that Bret Hart didn't need to win King of the Ring twice as well. Like, you can make those arguments. It's the same thing. He definitely deserves to be there. And if you have, you're talking about like your top talent in that division, you have to put him there. If he just lost the belt, I mean, he still has to be one of your main threats, right?
That's right.
Anyways.
Remember, people, Mabel won King of the Ring.
Talking about some of our biggest threats on the roster that we're now going to unfortunately have to miss out on. Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio start us up tonight in the show. Our poor little Liv. It's so sad. As we're talking about this now, I'm just like, I'm so sad even talking about this. Do we have to talk about this? All right, I guess we will. But yeah, Dominic is here. He still has his Dominic Mysterio heat, but not quite the heat that he used to have, Randy. Really, not quite the heat that he used to have. He even said recently in some interviews when he won that IC title, it was crazy. The reaction for him to hear of cheering in the crowd. Not that, still boos for Dom, but not as strong as there used to be, right? I think he can talk over them now.
People definitely enjoy to boo when he tries to talk, but of course they're all behind him. I think it's just like part of the gimmick. Yes, boo when he tries to talk, but cheer when he does win or does something right. So
yeah,
it's really weird what we as wrestling fans are liking right now, and it's complete opposite. No, seriously, and it's throwing these companies for a loop, and I love it.
I think the talent too. I think the talent is also like super surprised and be like, all right, let's just go with this. We got to throw an audible sometimes, right?
100%.
So Anyways, Dom and Liv are here. Liv is talking about how she owns this division, and yeah, I mean, she's not wrong. She really does. It's her division. I love how she makes fun of Io Sky for going up to Nikki Bella and saying that she was a huge inspiration to all of them. That was a great little shout out. Thank you, Liv Morgan, for listening to the show last week. We do appreciate you for that. And she wants her shot back at the world title. She's also the greatest tag team champion of all time in the women's division. I agree with that statement. Randy?
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. I'm not a Bella fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Liv is definitely the best of all time in that
Late
division.
Cool. Late Cool probably was second.
Yeah, Lay Cool was cool. Yeah, Lay Cool was Lay Cool. Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop. But anyways, here comes Io Sky because she is not going to let her talk all that smack. And Io Sky is ready to fight Liv at any time for that title. That's it. Dispatches of Liv and Dom, and that's the end of that segment there. So yeah, we were supposed to be getting maybe Bella's versus Morgan and Rodriguez. It looked like Evolution, really. But with everything that's happening here, I don't know, Randy. It just seems that this promo was very tag team eccentric and not focused on their one-on-one potential.
Okay. You're gonna really hate me for this. This opening promo with Liv Morgan was probably her worst promo in a long time. It was very generic. She threw out Green Bay. She threw out tag team. Like, it was very plain Jane dry. And I was like, oh no. Like, and then Io Sky comes out, and nothing against her. There's twice tonight where I wish that they just slowed down a little in the talking, because I couldn't understand little what Io Sky said, especially at the end when she got all excited.
Yeah.
But it was very generic. I want to give this out to WWE too. I don't know what you call it. If I was Dominic Mysterio, I would charge Io Sky with abuse or assault. I don't understand why the men could get beat up all the time. Poor Dominic Mysterio's getting beat up by everybody and their children. And it's okay. It's okay, but nobody else can do it back. But again, this promo at the beginning or the start was very dry to me, or I would say awkward. And that's how I felt during this promo.
Well, I felt it was a kind of like it was definitely a very slow way for them to start the show tonight. And even when they brought out Liv and Dom just to start the show, I was like, oh, that's a weird pairing. Like, usually we're seeing somebody a little bit more entertaining than the sort of it's Liv. It's maybe Liv with Rhea, and there's stuff going on with the Dom storyline, or there's something that's, more meat to the bone, as I like to say. Anyways,
Shout out to Dom's vest, though. I'm thinking of getting the cow vest. I'm honestly thinking of doing it and wearing it out. So
Those cow vests are getting more and more incredible each week. Cow vest with tassels is probably my favorite. Cow vest with tassels with purple accents. Oof. Now we're talking business. Randy, we got to get you one with some red accents.
nice.
What do you think? Sound good?
Plaid sounds great.
Plaid, oh my lord. Speaking about plaid, let's talk about the first match of the night. All right, Randy, let's do it. Queen of the Ring first round match. It's Asuka versus Stephanie Vaquer versus Ivy Nile versus Raquel Rodriguez, and Liv is in the back with Raquel trying to pump her up. The commentary team makes a good point to point out that Liv hasn't really been doing that well recently. She's been cats and strays from Nikki Bella. She's got a lot going on. She lost her title. And that this is maybe a way for the Judgment Day and her tag team partner to get there into the fold for the championship belt herself. Anyways, let's go forward to the match. This is the return of Asuka. Randy, what's with this thing with WWE? Like, even with the whole Jey Uso being the surprise entrant tonight for the King of the Ring match, why couldn't we protect this return of Asuka? Why did we need to advertise it?
Well, she was a big deal. I think she was undefeated in NXT.
That's my point. She is a big enough deal that isn't necessary for her to have a hype package returning next week. Is that necessary? Because it wasn't necessary for a lot of other people.
I think for her, it could be just for her mental state as well. Maybe she wanted a little pump. She's been going through a lot of mental issues too in the last year as well, not just injury. I don't know. I think it's well
Is
deserved.
that why her face paint is crazier than anything you've ever seen on Jeff Hardy's face
No,
before in your
probably.
life?
Yeah, probably. But
That makeup must have taken 4 hours to do, man.
yeah. She went to the Dustin Reynolds School of painting. But I'll after you talk about the match, I'll give my 2 cents on this Asuka return, anyways.
Yeah, anyways, Asuka's there. So you got some big names here in this match, and then you've got Ivy Nile who's just making her way up the card slowly but surely. But everybody loves Steph Vakura. I think that everybody leading into this match was thinking for sure Vakura for the win. It's got to be Vakura or Vakwe, depending on how you want to pronounce it, for the win. But we see a nice little match here between these four ladies. Get us started off nice and hot this evening. Raquel also looks good in the ring by herself. She's just a powerhouse in the ring here with all of the opponents. Steph Vakura is definitely the star of the show. Man, whenever she does that devil's kiss, the reaction that she gets from the crowd and also the Booker T, I love it. It's absolutely great. But she only gets about 3 devil's kisses in this time before it's broken up. Very, very heelish, may I add. Very, very heelish, to say the least. Ivy Niles in this match, so you know what that means, folks. We're going to see some German suplexes. It's going to happen. But, yeah. Asuka does look good. She's moving quick in her return here. She's throwing out some missile drop kicks, so there are some high-risk maneuvers going on. The Vakura versus Asuka showdown that happens in the middle of the ring at one point definitely has that aura that you're looking for in a matchup, so definitely something between those two women down the line. They have a duel there in the ring quickly. The SVB is blocked. Rodriguez goes to boot Vakura in the face. The Tahama bomb connects. Oh my lord, but here comes Rhea Ripley for some payback here. She's going to rip-tide her right on the goddamn floor. Raquel Rodriguez, takes the bump of a lifetime, and you hear that thud from all the way in Minnesota. From Green Bay, Wisconsin. All right, anyways. Riptide on the floor. Asuka hits her running bum hip tap. It's called the Empress Impact to pin Rodriguez here. And these ladies got a decent amount of time to work with. So Asuka is heading to the semifinals. Randy, what's up, brother? What do you think of the match?
What did I think of the match? First of all, I had 4 ads in between this match. Like, literally, I got the lower end of the Netflix deal on this. It sucked. Like, it really sucked for me. 2 minutes in, boom, ad. 3 minutes later, ad. I was like, if I see Hogan's beer commercial any more time, or Minute Maid's juice, get the juice or whatever it is, I've seen it a little too much. But in turn, this is, and people are going to hate me right now, I like this match. Ivy Nile looked great. Raquel looked amazing. Stephanie, of course, looks amazing. Mm-hmm. But hear me out. Asuka, I didn't like her. I'll explain the reason why. You got two tanks in the match. One being Raquel. The other one being, and it's debatable, but I will say she's a tank, Stephanie.
She's a tank, dude. She's 100% a tank.
Stephanie and Raquel should be the ones going up, being the tanks. Then you got like a mini tech, right? And we'll call her sort of a mini tech powerhouse, Ivy Nile. Then you got Asuka, right? The high flyer, insane, a little different type of hybrid wrestling style. There's no way that Asuka should be standing up taking 5 headbutts from Raquel. It's garbage, man. It's absolutely, I don't care if it's a return or anything else. I don't even care if she won. No, it's not the pick I would have chosen to win. I don't even care if she won. The match was great, except for her. I don't want to use the word not selling, but taking 5 headbutts and big moves, clotheslines from Stephanie Vakura and just standing there. It makes no sense to me. She is not Hogan. She is not Rhea Ripley, unfortunately. There's no way that you should be taking that. So in turn, I give this match, I would have given it a 4 if Asuka wasn't in it, but I give it a 2.5 bananas. I don't even know what button to press. A 2.5 bananas out of 5 because of Asuka, and I'm sad to say it because I enjoyed every other part of it. Ivy looked great, right? I'm sorry.
Well, shots fired from Randy as Asuka says that the fire did not die and she is going to be the queen of the ring. That face paint was out of control. Absolutely out of control. Crazy ass face paint going on here. Randy, I think that with Asuka, we are still holding on to that unbeaten streak that she had in NXT. I think that we are still holding on to that. The main roster impact has never really been there as much as we want it to be there. She is definitely in the realm of Shinsuke Nakamura when it comes to what fans want from Japanese talent to what we get from WWE. That's definitely what I see her as. And sure, could she be the queen of the ring? Yes. But I think that somebody up and coming like Steph Cure definitely deserved it more, or definitely could have used it better, for sure. I didn't see Ivy Nile being the queen of the ring. But Steph Cure, yeah, that would make sense.
But again, man, Asuka, it's like Bret Hart not bumping to a Big Daddy Cool Diesel clothesline. Like, you know what I mean? It's freaking bullshit.
See, Bret would never do that. Bret would never do that. Bret protects the business. He will bump for anybody. Bret made Tom McGee look like $1 million. And by the way, folks, if you haven't seen that Tom McGee versus Bret Hart match, WWE did release it, and it's entirely on WWE Vault on YouTube. Go check it out. Anyways, all right, we've beaten this match like a dead horse. Gunther defeated Jey Uso last week for the world title. We talked about that a lot. Everybody still seemed to be really surprised about it happening. Not me so much. Back in the Judgment Day clubhouse, Liv Morgan is there with Raquel Rodriguez. She wants her to come out for a match, but Rodriguez is just completely banged up. Talking about wanting people to come out for matches, Dominic Mysterio has been having an issue with AJ Styles recently trying to go after his Intercontinental title, and he wants JD McDonagh to take care of the issue tonight. Finn Balor wants to be at his side, but Mysterio isn't having it. He says didn't work last time he tried to dispatch AJ. We have Finn Balor get a little bit angry for a second there, but then he says, you know what? That's fine. I'll stay back here. Dom, you go out there and help instead. So, more Judgment Day drama. Which,
if only they knew. If only they were going to know what was going to happen a little bit. If only they do. They might be good next week.
They have to be. They have no choice. As soon as they all saw it happen, they were like, oh man, all that work we did, just completely gone. Finn Balor's going to be happy with them again. That's it. Anyways, guess who's back? It's Gunther.
Oh.
Yes, Carlito. Carlito showed up at some random promotion in Louisville, Kentucky over the weekend, or like Lexington, Kentucky for the World Championship belt. That's anyways, cool. Going forward. Gunther is here, folks. He is celebrating his world title win. He gets a big pyro pop, and he wants everybody to admit, that Jey Uso was the better man at WrestleMania, but he is the better man now. The fans are starting to chant for somebody. I guess they want somebody to come out. The reality is that Seth Rollins has the Money in the Bank briefcase, so Gunther wants to make it easier for him and tell him to come right out to face him. Instead of Seth Rollins, the WWE nightmare continues for me, at least, because here is Goldberg. Goldberg himself. If you see my video right now, you can see at least 95 Bret Hart items behind me. So yes, you can see how happy and enthused I am that Goldberg is back here. Liver spots and all on the back of his head, with a t-shirt that says, Goldberg's last ride. Randy, Goldberg is going to be taking on Gunther on July 12th on the next installment of Saturday night's main event. First, what is it with all of these old people coming to wrestle on SNME? Why do we? Why is WWE like? We've got Saturday night's main event going on. We need to bring somebody out of retirement for this real quickly. It has to happen. So there's that, and then secondarily, I mean, just why? Just why? Just give me one reason. Give me one good reason why.
Well, one good reason wasn't that in Saudi, so it's not Saturday night's main event.
Yeah,
Two,
thank God.
Nostalgia pops. No offense, it doesn't make a difference. I don't know what's with people these days. Nostalgia pops left, right, and center. So let's go through the pros of this Goldberg return. People wanted it. Guess what? They got it. Rumors were true. We all knew this was going to happen. Hopefully Gunther beats him quick. That's all. I don't know. Like he gasped on the way out to the ring, so I couldn't imagine him wrestling. But I will want to say one thing about this promo. Gunther did a great job. If you replay this promo, because I did do this, because I'm like, I think something went wrong here. I think it went a little too long. Gunther was talking and he kept looking at the stage. And then his music didn't hit. And then Gunther would say something else. And you look back at the stage. The music didn't hit. The only problem with this promo, it went too long. Is anybody out there nobody can beat me? Boom, looks at the stage. Oh, I guess Jey Uso tried, blah, blah. Boom, looks at the stage, nothing. Even when Goldberg's music hit, he came out late. Like, you know what I mean? He was already gassed before he even made the fireworks. So, I don't understand why people want this. I was never a Goldberg fan. It has nothing to do with the Bret Hart stuff either. For a minute there, I thought it intriguing. But, yeah, we got it on Saturday night's main event. It's better than in One Night Only. Or is that the Saudi event? One Night Only? Or Night of Champions?
I don't know.
Apologize.
Yeah, Night of Champions.
So, at least they're doing it there, and it's all for nostalgia pops. Gunther hopefully will win this. There's a whole bunch of rumors going around on scenarios. Goldberg wins, Seth cashes in. There's
oh God,
a whole bunch online. I don't know. Let's just watch it and enjoy it if we can. I know you won't.
Yeah, I'll try my ample best to enjoy a Goldberg match, which is something that I don't think I've ever been able to do in my whole life. And again, this doesn't have anything to do with the Bret Hart injury. I do feel, knowing Bret personally, I do feel extremely bad that guys like Bret don't get these spots and can never have these spots and can never be in a match, or he can't even take a bump, and Goldberg can get the spot. So it's crazy to me, but it is what it is. It's business. I understand nostalgia sells. I just don't see the reason for it. I think that in a perfect world, Gunther dispatches him in 5 minutes, and it's Saturday night's main event, Randy. So we know we're going to get chock full of ads the whole time anyways. So hopefully it is quick and fast and furious.
I got a question for you. What's going to happen when Ric Flair's gone, Hulk Hogan's gone, Brock, you know what I mean? Goldberg's now going to be gone. John Cena's gone. What is going to happen? Who are they going to be the nostalgics? Because there really aren't the Stone Cold. There really aren't in-betweeners. Roman Reigns would probably be the only in-betweener that ever would leave and come back. That would be a good nostalgic. There's nobody else.
Randy Orton. AJ Styles.
When they stop, they're going to stop, though.
You think so?
Randy Orton might be on money, but
the thing is, you make a good point too. They are mentioning money, because a lot of the reasons why these guys are coming back and doing these one-time shows is because the money that they made when they were world champions is nothing like the money that they're making now. The contracts that WWE has for their talent now is nothing at all like what these guys saw in the 80s and 90s.
But a return of the AJ Styles is not going to be as big as a return as Goldberg. No offense, AJ Styles. I'm a big AJ Styles fan. A return of even Randy Orton.
Seth Rollins, let's say.
Well, Seth Rollins still is in this. We're going to have to wait 20 years for that. You know what I mean? There is a. I go by decade, right? So we're going to go by decades. Who are these people that they're going to really have to focus.
I mean, to your point, there is a big gap in between there. When you look at say, for example, even all the conventions, when you look at the new era, all of the new era talent that you see showing up at conventions, Attitude Era really just started showing up at all of these conventions. So the next era after that is what that of majority that we're talking about is Ruthless Aggression.
Yeah.
So you're not going to bring back a Ken Kennedy to be a huge pop, right? But
Right.
Randy Orton makes sense. Like, let's say 5 years from now, if Randy Orton is retired and he comes back for a one night only, still in great shape, still looks great, that makes sense for me. He is that guy, Randy. And as much as we don't want to admit it, somebody like Randy Orton, if he was gone from wrestling and not on our screen and was not there for 5 years, and then we had him for a one night only on a Saturday night, we would pop for it huge.
But there's only one, and and don't get me wrong, a Randy Orton as Stone Cold wouldn't be the same. In turn, I'm trying to stress is they really have to promote this younger talent like a Roxanne and a Stephanie and everything else right now to make sure they are relevant for this next decade. So it's start to do it, and people got to get off this nostalgia kick. But speaking about nostalgia.
I was going to say, speaking about new talent and pushing new talent to the moon in the next decade, it's JD McDonagh versus AJ Styles, folks. Like I said before, Dominic wants AJ Styles gone off of the tails of his cow vest, his tassels of his cow vest. He has AJ Styles hanging all on him for the IC title, and he's going to send Mr. Big Head himself out there to do the job and get rid of AJ Styles. Randy, oh my God, there is one point of the match where AJ Styles throws a massive, like, boomerang style clothesline off of the ropes and hits JD McDonagh in his head, and that thing just bobbles like crazy as he's falling to the ground, man. But dude, I'm telling you, there's sometimes when you see certain moves that have such a higher impact than, say, for example, a Canadian Destroyer or 3 flips off of the top ropes. Just watching that nasty clothesline was vicious. But anyways, Styles is throwing out all of his classics in this, man. Cash Cruffer attempts going on here. JD McDonagh is trying to get his way out of the ring. He has, like I said, Dominic Mysterio there to help him out to get the job done tonight, but it just isn't going to work, unfortunately, because he does throw out a brain buster, but Styles gets back up. Mysterio tries with the distraction, but unfortunately McDonagh walks straight into a Styles clash and a pin as AJ Styles is staring deep into the soul of Dominic Mysterio. Post-match, AJ Styles steals that belt from Dominic. Steals it, more or less, Randy. Right? 100%. Randy, what do you think about the match?
What I think about the match is I enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying JD right now. The style clash he took with his head being so big, he had to pull the head way back. If you look at it slow motion, because I was just waiting for it, way back, he had to pull that head back. But I enjoyed it to the most part. Dom with his interference, just the Judgment Day. I'm loving every part of Dom JD. It was good. I'll give it about 3.75 bananas out of 5. It was fun. And realistically, I have not been enjoying AJ style matches as much as of late. But I do enjoy this. I think Dominic and AJ will be a good Intercontinental Championship feud where Dominic will prevail.
There you go. Well, Dominic has definitely been, a lot of people are kind of poking fun at his IC title reign. The only defenses that he's had were against shapes, so Octagon and Pentagon. So if he gets AJ Styles there into the mix, that is a shapeless man who is definitely going to get a good feud here out of these two. And especially now with the Liv Morgan injury, we'll see how that evolves and how Finn probably will be a little bit more on the side of Dominic, I'd say, to keep the Judgment Day alive. And you can also see during the previous backstage segment here between the Judgment Day that it looks like Dominic is more or less the leader of the group now. Judgment Day, Randy, a group that is run by whoever holds the gold.
I mean, that's fair. It should be that way. It is fair. That's actually legitimately fair.
I think so, too. I definitely think so, too. Anyways,
Natalia.
Natalia.
People are not fair. People are not fair. This is totally not fair, this next segment.
Natalia and Alpha Academy to give Sheamus a pep talk before he faces Rusev. Um, Randy, Rusev and Sheamus getting their match finally, sort of, later on tonight in the main event in a four-way. Okay, I guess that happens. All right, but anyways, Bayley is on the way to
Wait,
her
wait, wait,
ring.
wait, 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 rewind here. Let's talk about this.
Do we
This
have
was,
to?
yeah, Tozawa, Sheamus kick his ass. That was the funniest part of it. Poor everybody in this. Poor Sheamus. Sheamus in his creator wrestler tights. Again, like he doesn't even look like anything anymore. Poor Natalia. Poor Maxine Dupree. But like all these three. There's definitely, like, it did make me laugh. But it was funny. Like these guys are going nowhere. Unfortunately, like nowhere quickly. But yes, Bayley,
Dude.
go ahead. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I think most people. But yeah, Bayley coming
Well,
up.
you know,
He's back.
you know what? I have to point out a point too that you mentioned earlier because you were talking about the Netflix commercials that you were getting, and then I have the Netflix where I don't get the commercials and I stay live. So during the live, the New Day came out and they said that they won't give the War Raiders a title match. They'll pretty much give it to anybody else because they deserve it and the War Raiders don't. That happened during a commercial break. And when you rewatch on Netflix, when you watch Raw again on Netflix, this segment doesn't exist. So
I didn't see that.
ah, I can see why we're doing things to give people a little bit more, right? If you're paying a little bit more premium, you're getting a little bit more content. But like maybe don't make it so it's something that's going to affect titles and storylines and titles. That might be your better idea. I think there's some good room there for some comedy segments and for some development of characters who we don't really know that much.
Very good
Really.
point. Very good point. No, extremely good point. I did not see that because I have the crummier version of the Netflix with the 90,000 ads again, like Minute Maid, I'm juiced, and everything else like that. So, and Hulk Hogan's beer, man.
Well, you know what else you're gonna get, Randy? You're gonna get a purple-haired Bailey who is saying that she is now the new leader of the Judgment Day. No, not
Yeah.
really. But Bailey's poor hair, man, that stuff's gotta be falling off of her head at this point. She changes her hair color more than Dennis Rodman. It's just changed over and over again. But it's purple now, folks. And Face Bailey is here. She's not happy with Becky Lynch for taking her spot at WrestleMania, a chance to win tag team title gold, a division that she cares a lot about. She likes it. She likes it, Randy. She likes it a lot. You know, she's not going to talk about who she held titles with because she can't be named, but, you know, she likes that division. It's cool.
Where's her tag team partner? Q, whoever she's supporting her right now. There's nobody. Yeah, I love the tag team division all by myself. No offense, but go ahead.
And we get more of that after the segment too. But anyways, Becky Lynch comes in with full Chicago Bears gear, and I love it. I absolutely
That was
love
good.
the cheap heat that we have there. Cheap heat is one of my favorite things. But no, anyways, Lynch is there, and she's talking about her legacy, and Bailey is always about her friends. It's true. When you think about Bailey, when you think about the hugger, when you think about her past friendship with Sasha Banks, even her friendship with Moira Valkyria leading up to WrestleMania, it seems that's all really face Bailey truly cares about is my friends, my friends that I hug. But yeah, Randy, uh, Becky Lynch, Bailey, IC title match. We're talking about two women that were last couple of years main eventing WrestleMania in their division. What are we doing here?
We're putting something better together than Lyra Valkyria. And you know what? Bailey is returning. Um, I don't mind it as much as you dislike it, I guess. I think it's the perfect way to go because they both don't have a story. And they're two main event stars. You can't really push them into what's going on right now because it'll only going to make them feel weak, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they have a mid-card title, two main event stars, but at least it gives them a story for the meantime until they get to the next step. Does that involve Becky Lynch losing it and then going for whoever may have the women's heavyweight title at the time, or the women's championship title? Sorry, I should say at the time. Maybe. And then Bayley just do a little run with the IC title. I don't know. But it's just to get through the time being, I'm presuming. And I'm okay with it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that you can look at it from two different perspectives. You can look at it from the perspective of they're trying to elevate the the women's IC title to a point where it is relevant and it is that highly coveted title. And why wouldn't you have two former world champions in the mix to do so? It's not the first time that the world champion has gone down to IC title holder and still made it look very strong. But you could also look at it from the perspective of, say, for example, Raw has some of the best up and coming talent, female division wise, hands down. Like, you can't even debate that. The Raw women's roster is absolutely insane. And was there space to grow and build another star? There definitely was the space to do so. I think that maybe they're just a little hesitant to do that after the reaction that Lyra got from, the crowd, the internet wrestling community, people like ourselves, all making fun of her wings and all that stuff. No, we weren't making fun of her wings more than anything. We just couldn't stand that they were giving her wings. It was like, stop making her a bird. Exactly. Anyways, moving forward, Jey Uso is ready to fight Gunther again because they're 1-1 and they got a rubber match. So that means he's got to win the King of the Ring tournament to do so. Okay, Jey Uso, there you go. Let's keep going forward. AJ Styles is here and he gives the stolen belt back to Nick Aldis, who was there for Piercy tonight, it seems. Randy, we're missing out on Piercy and we're missing out on Pat McAfee again.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yes, the replacement. Adam Pearce, he said on Sunday on his Father's Day, he was on vacation. And he was giving Mr. Aldis for the week. And that he better do a good job. Pat, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what it may be.
2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, it's probably something to do with the football season coming up.
Yeah.
But in turn, it was good seeing Corey Graves there. Other than Wade Barrett, it was good to hear. I guess they're giving him some kudos or props for his pairing with Conan in Worlds Collide. They're like, here, you deserve this. You know what I mean? Here you go, fella. But Corey Graves.
Here's my best. Right. This is my best Conan impression of that night. Hey, do you remember that time when? Hey, can I tell you something quickly? It's like, dude, you're on the microphone. You have the entire world to talk to. You don't need to ask if you can tell a story. Just tell something quickly and move forward.
And we were in the car going down and we are just heading to the vent. Hang on 1 second there, Conan. It's
enough.
It's a triple poison rana from blah, 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 blah. Yeah, let me get back to the story. So Angel was sitting there. Let's say, don't keep cutting me off, brother. I'm playing.
No, it was funny. It was actually really funny to have Conan there on commentary. But yeah, Corey Graves. I miss my Pat McAfee, man. I hate to say it. I miss my Pat McAfee. And then also this week, I missed Wade Barrett. I was like, I liked Wade Barrett more in this position.
Anyways, he deserved it.
He's okay. He's okay. He made some cool references during the night to, for example, like when Rusev comes out and he talks about their time that they trained together at FCW and how different of a man Rusev is now in comparison. So, okay. Anyways, like I said, IC title is handed back to Nick Aldis. Definitely a match coming up there between AJ and Dominic Mysterio. Night of Champions is where it's going to be. And then next week on Raw, we're going to have Bayley versus Becky for the women's Intercontinental title. Randy, that should be exciting. Do you think that's going to make it to the main event?
I don't know. I don't think so. It's IC title. Yeah. Cody Rhodes in the winner. I think Cody Rhodes will be the main event. But it'll be fun. There won't be a winner. There'll be something. Bayley. There'll be disqualification or something. Something's going to happen. So.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. They're not nobody's winning that belt clean that night. That's for sure. Anyways, Bayley sees her former tag team partner and best friend, Lyra Valkyria. Lyra reminds her, look, it's okay. You had to do what was best for yourself. And if you win that title, I'm going to do what's best for myself. So here's the question, Lyra. If she doesn't win the title, are you still going to do what's best for yourself?
Crow's good crow.
At that point, she's like, damn it, Becky won. I can't fight her. Damn it. No, I need Bayley to win.
I
But
think
no,
you should do the
Lyra
rest
is
of the
there.
podcast in that voice. You did really well on that. Keep going.
Thank
Sam.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem.
Thank you. Lyra Valkyria. I miss having her on the screen. I miss her and her feathers. So it was nice to see her tonight. Okay, something that's horrible to see. We already talked about it at the start of the show. Kairi Sane versus Liv Morgan. Literally first bump of the match. Liv is taken down there in what looks like a leg drag, like a toe hold, and she just falls, and her shoulder's dislocated, and here we are. So
You're better
sadness.
soon, Liv. We miss you.
Oh, dude, 16 weeks will be terrible. So let's hope that it's not 16 weeks, and let's hope that she can be on the screen in some capacity because everything's changing. If that's not the case, everything is changing.
I will give you, again, we don't have any updates as of today, so on and so forth. But I've known of people that dislocated their shoulder and popped it back in, and they can never tell it was dislocated before in the past. So it could be 16 weeks, it could be 6 minutes. Like, hopefully, whatever it is, she just heals up and gets healthy real quick. Love you, Liv Morgan.
See, that happened to Liv in a match before, but I'm pretty sure that that was a gimmick at that time. I don't think that was a shoot injury. I think that was a gimmicked injury, but a lot of people are pointing that out online as well. Anyways, officially, that shoulder is dislocated. Unfortunate. It sucks. Oh, well. Sami Zayn is in the back, and he's excited for the King of the Ring, but here comes Karrion Kross to taunt him a little bit. You know what? Sammy's had enough of it. After he's done with that, he is going to have a match with Karrion Kross. Randy, wow, it sounds like we're finally going to get some Karrion Kross wrestling action on WWE Raw.
Yeah, a month from now. Like, it's literally after Saudi, man. It's like it's a month from now. Way to go, Karrion. Hopefully you're around for the next month. No, I get it. Like, what does this prove? So if he loses, Sami Zayn's a loser. Karrion Kross is right. Then Karrion Kross has to win. But if Sami Zayn wins, then he's going to fight Karrion Kross, and Karrion Kross is going to lose. So, like, what's the implication? Like, just prove him wrong, Sami. Can you do this once? Just once for us. It's in Saudi. Yeah. It's going to be probably against Cody Rhodes or somebody else, which I don't think you're going to do. Who are they going to put over? Sami Zayn or Cody Rhodes or Jey Uso? Like I don't know. Like I have no clue where they're going to go with this. All I know is Sami Zayn is screwed facing Karrion Kross no matter what. And lose again because Karrion Kross. Nothing against Karrion Kross, like it's just another thing that I don't know. You understand what I'm saying?
It's a loss either way, is what I'm getting from what you're saying.
Yeah,
and I agree with that statement. Anyways, all right, guys. Main event of the evening. It is the King of the Ring first round. It is Sheamus versus Rusev in their match that we've been looking forward to for weeks and weeks and weeks versus Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed as the Dangerous Alliance, or the group with no name, continues to find a way to continue to take over the WWE. Will they be thwarted in doing so? Will Big Bronson Reed punch his way to the King of the Ring? Let's see, folks. Let's find out. Sheamus is here, and like Randy said, he's wearing his red gear. It's definitely not his color, but he's here and he's wearing it anyways. He is just beating the crud out of people this entire match too, may I add. Just beats of the Bodrum all over the place happening. Fun little exchange at the start before anybody else came into the ring as well between Jey Uso and Rusev. I almost keep calling him Miro every single time. Between Rusev and Jey Uso, when Uso just is getting stared down by him, and he just keeps on doing little hand gestures like yeet, no yeet, but it's all underneath his waist.
Yeah,
so it's freaking hilarious. He's just trying to get him to pop. Rusev is not willing to pop. Randy, Rusev has had this return here to the WWE, and this is really the first serious match that we see him in. How did Rusev perform in this match in your eyes?
Well, they did highlight it with him and Sheamus. Rusev, It's hard, man. It's when you have these four, it's really hard to pick. Like, the pecking order. Like, Sheamus obviously is at the bottom right now, and then Rusev, and then Bronson, and then Jay, realistically. Bronson being above Rusev, which is a weird if you're not a fan of wrestling or anything and you were to say this, huh? What do you mean Bronson over Sheamus and Miro or Rusev? I'm falling into Eric's little
Trap.
But yeah, Miro was good. Like, Miro was good for what it was.
No, he looked good in the match. He looked strong. He even locked up Jey Uso in the accolade at one point. That looked dangerous, right? For Uso, a former champion. But Sheamus just kept on finding a way to even things up with Rusev in this entire match. It just keeps happening over and over again. Really, the match just at one point goes absolutely crazy. Like, that's the best way that I can put it. Just absolutely crazy. Reed, my apologies. Reed at one point hits a tsunami. Uso comes to make the save here in the pin. He tries to go up there, but here comes Braun Breaker to cut him off. Then Sami Zayn comes in. Penta runs in. LA Knight runs in. Randy, I am going through the entire roster of run-ins here. The end of the show here tonight was absolutely crazy, but all it did was lead into numerous distractions, which led to a spear and a superfly splash, and Jey Uso is going to the King of the Ring semifinals to take on Cody Rhodes, who also shows up. Oh my God, Randy, the roster that we had showing up for this match here, just a little overbooked. What do you think, pal?
You think this match was absolutely perfect. Then it turned into Game of Thrones Season 1, Episode 3, where they're throwing 19 storylines out and you're supposed to keep track of which the storylines are. Was it needed? No, I don't think so. There's no reason. The only person we didn't see is Karrion Kross. He should have been out there too, doing something against Sami. Why not?
Against Sami.
Yeah, like, why not throw him in?
Why didn't we see Alpha Academy? No,
he's Tozawa. Tozawa should be there for Rusev, right, or whatever. For Sheamus, I have no clue. Maxine Dupree should be kicking somebody.
And then one of the ninjas. One of the ninjas who wants revenge comes back against Tozawa as well, right? Like, we didn't book enough people here at the end.
That's it. Maxine Dupree should be kicking Rusev in the face or something, because why not? Women are kicking men now on WWE Raw. But yeah, you're right.
We had a really good match up until the final 2 minutes when it just became too much. It's just, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Oh!
In all faces. Like, they're all faces. The poor bad guys, heels or whatever. I hate using heels and faces as words. But the bad guys were outnumbered like 9-3. Like, it was a little unfair, if you know what I'm saying. Nobody came out. Where was Seth? Like, oh, don't get me wrong. Sorry, Braun and Braun. Braun was.
No, he was there too.
Everybody
showed up. Everybody showed up. But yeah, he was the only
bad guy compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heels that came out.
The Avengers.
That's dumb. The Avengers. Yeah, it was Avengers Assemble. What, fuck? Braun Breaker is Thanos? Like, I have no clue. Just snap his fingers? Oh, no.
But no, it was a good match leading up until the craziness that happened at the end. I think that a lot of us expected, like you said, based on the pecking order, that it was going to be Jey Uso that won this match. Why did we have to book so many people into it at the end to make that a possibility? I don't think it was necessary at all. When you look at the talent that he was taking on in this match, I mean, I could see why Braun Breaker gets involved, and then maybe one more person after that. Right. But then to have over and over and over again, music hits. Okay, great. Cody Rhodes is going to be there next week. That's awesome too, against Jey Uso in their match. That's going to be great. That's probably your main event of the evening right there. But we had a solid main event tonight that was probably, I don't want to say ruined, but it was just, I'm frowning upon it because of the ending. And that's it, unfortunately. But Randy, what's your banana rating for this month?
So it would have been a 4 bananas, but every time somebody came out, an eighth of a banana got lost. So we were going to make it a 3 banana, which is still a passable rating. A 3 banana for the main event. The overall show with everything going on, realistically, people are saying, oh, wow, this is a completely better show than the last couple of weeks. I don't agree. But guess what?
Yeah.
People haven't agreed with much of what you said as of late. So I give this a passable rating, maybe a 3.25 bananas, which is very possible. I really want to hit the other button one day, but it's still a good show. It is the best wrestling product to me that's out there, especially with storylines. Like I said,
Hell yeah.
if you watch Game of Thrones episode 3, you would have liked this episode of WWE Raw.
Yeah,
in
this
Green
is
Bay.
storyline overload, and we just lost 3 of them, folks, to an injury. So at least we know that there's room for more next week, guys. Lyra Valkyria's feather wings are being stolen by somebody, and they got to figure out who the culprit is. But no, you know what? Show was enjoyable, but not my favorite episode in the last few weeks at all, for sure. Anyways, Randy, it's always fun doing the show with you, brother, my bestie, my pal, and it's always great to have you, our listeners, here to join us every week. So thank you so much for doing so. If you wanted to go ahead and follow us, say on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, we would love you for doing so. And if you wanted to say, for example, send questions into the show, listener mail, or even just gifts of finery, Randy, how do these people go about doing so?
Oh, very nice, very nice. Yes, guess what, Eric B? We reached the 3,500 mark on YouTube finally. The 3,500 mark. Thank you, everybody, for it. Thank you for the kind messages of people reaching out still of the surgery and stuff like that, and people being happy. Thank you, Reese, for saying glad still doing the show for a couple more weeks. Yes, the draw will be on radio very shortly. We cannot give you a date because I got to heal a little, people. I'm sorry. I wish I could. I don't want to announce something and not do it again, just like it happened last month. So when it comes within 2 weeks, I promise people you will know. But you can follow us on the YouTubes at youtube.com/StrawsRaw. We got a Patreon. Like, you can join it if you want. Become a free member. It's patreon.com/The Draw. We're the only one out there. There's a THT a tier there. We want to get this going. I know Eric hasn't been promoting on his channel. He's going to start this week, but I'm just playing with him. But yeah, we got that there. You can follow us on the grams. We're at the Hub Sports Entertainment. Make sure you go follow the Smack Daddies at the Smack Daddies. Again, Brad the Dad, Father Greg with their show every week here on the Hub Sports Entertainment. The SmackDown review with the Smack Daddies, and as well as the Dynamite Drop with Sean Burkhead and Ashley. Another great show here on the Hub. And go follow them on the Instagrams. They're at the Dynamite Drop. And Tez, stop messaging me. We had a deal that you said that the R-Truth, Ron Killings firing was a work. They've told you the contract expired. It was not a work. So you owe me 5 votes on the tattoo report. So stop messaging me. Just messaging me all morning. I love the guy. Go follow them too, by the way, the TDS Wrestling Show. But yeah, he's going on me. R-Truth showed up within 12 weeks, so it's proven. No, we said it's a work or not, and yes, it did. We had 3 months, but guess what? People brought it back. And congratulations, R-Truth. I like you without your hair. Where can they follow you, Eric B? Sorry for going on so long.
Wrestling with Eric on the Instagram. I throw a lot of stories up there for the Hub and for the Raw when I'm active and busy. I've been a little bit less active recently, but I promised you, fine folks, I will be more active going forward. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me and Randy. Like I said, it means the world to have to have you, our listeners, here with us every single week. So until the next time that we drop an episode, until our next week that you get to hear me and Randy just talk about all the haps with the craps, take care of yourselves and each other, and continue to live your lives impactfully.
Live. Get better soon, please. We miss you already.
Yes.
Laugh every single day and at every single thing. And love wrestling.
Deuces.